Hello again, Jerry French here, back to the Ultra Hour. We're going to do a Ultra Mini-Intruder with an Ultra rig. And what we're going to show off today is our new intruder eyes. There's the 1/8, 3/16, and 5/32. Variety of mini colors, real tasty. Today we're going to use the 1/8 in the Kingfisher blue. Put that right there. And I have a pre-assembled Ultra rig, 27 millimeter, excuse me, return die shank, because we're using a dumbbell. Return is a nice platform for the dumbbell. If they do snag up or get banged around, they have less tendency to spin. It's a much more secure platform. And of course the Ultra rig. It's 50-pound braid in our proprietary Ultra tubing. And the size 2 talon, Aqua talon, real good hook. Okay, so I've got it all set up here so I can pre-rigged, so I can just put it in my vise here. We'll build a mini intruder. So in this case I have it run through the eye and all lashed down, of course. So we'll just start in up here at the front, base of thread. There it is. And we'll put in our new little intruder eyes. There it is. 5 on each side. And a couple around the base. The pinch wrap. Let's go to the back. Make sure they're where I want them. Let's put a little glue on here. And I'm pretty generous in around the eye, just to make sure it stays secure. I hate it when they break off. I'm just going to take off all the extra. Knock it down. Okay. So, in this case, I'm going to use a little Chartreuse hotspot. Polar Chenille, right out the very back. Put down. And 4 nice tight turns right here in the back. On top there. Carry that down. Okay. So as I chase that just a little bit forward, 4 nice turns. So what else I'm going to use here is something that we're working on are these fake jungle cock eyes in a variety of sizes and shades. These ones I really like because of the length of them. I like to have a nice long jungle cock eye, kind of a focus back here towards the hook end. It's a nice accent as well. We'll anchor those down just in front. And as you can see, they go back to about where the eye of the hook is, just past it. Now you can make these as long or as short as you want, but I kind of like them to have some substance presence outside the tail that we're going to be putting in here, so I tend to like them long. Let's tie those in. Make sure they're on the sides. Okay. Get right back up on there. We'll use a little Kingfisher blue for the back. And true to form with my intruders, we're going to make these little twin tails. So I use about 1/4, 3/8 worth of fibers. These are kind of not exactly the same lengths, which is okay. Kind of nice variance. So they go just 1/2 inch past the hook length. Remember, it's a mini intruder. So we tied that right on the side, directly on top of the jungle cockeye. Do the same thing for the other side. Check length, put it on the other side. Okay. Oops, missed one. Okay. Turn that down. Little pearlescent tinsel for the body. I like the wide. And then we'll run this forward. And I'm putting these, like, overlapping them about halfway, so they're nice and secure, and there's a good depth to them. And you can put some glue down and wrap over the glue if you want to. It'll make it more secure. I'm actually going to put a little glue over the top of it once I get this secured down here. Just a little strip, hard as salt, right on top there. And then right at that station, make another composite loop. Then I run my thread all the way forward. Put some dubbing wax on here, just stash it back there. And then we'll make some loops. This nice simple fly, a little bit of predator wrap, the usual 1 inch. This beautiful custom blend Kingfisher blue dubbing. Pick this out. Less is always more. Take some of that out of there. Stretch it out. Take our predator wrap, get it all evened up. And these are short little shoulders, so this piece will be just about 3/4 of an inch. I'll do with my scissors there. Oops. Transfer it out between your thumb and forefinger, spread it out. Then we'll set it in here, 60-40, 80-20, whatever you prefer, but just not 50-50 so they don't land in the same place. Has a much more tapered effect if they're offset. And what I mean by 60-40 obviously is the center line, red is the center line, 40% over here, 60% over here, or whatever, just not centered. Okay, so there's shoulder. Let's make the forward hackle. Little Midnight Fusion dub. Has the blue accents. Really cool. Blue and copper. It's quite lovely. Okay, so I'm going to match these up like I do. Just pull them through my fingers until they're fairly matched up. And then I'm going to take and cut this in half. Because I want this to be a smaller accent up front, not to cover up the shoulder. And we're trying to make a mini intruder. So there's that all spread out. Let's find some acceptable tips for this. Now I find it kind of, it's important to find fibers that are not as small. You could use Rhea, I suppose, but small ostrich, fine ostrich. If you get too fat, it doesn't look like a mini intruder. It ends up being too opaque, and so I'm going to go from over here because these are about the right length. Actually, I'll take them from the top over here. This is a weird little tip. It's hard to get at. Take that out. I'll go right here. So a good inch worth of tips. Cut off the stem. Let's get those all matched up lengthwise. Okay. Check length on the fly. Want it to be a nice, basically half the length of the fly. It's coming in, landing roughly about the middle of the eyes. That's real good. Cut that out. Pull this up. There'll be some shorties in there. They don't get to be part of the party. Let's do the toothbrush trick again. Oops, come back over here. Just brush that out. Make a little Velcro-y. Put them down on there. And fold that over. All right, so we got a shoulder, forward hackle, back in the loop. Put some dubbing wax up in the working part here. Don't be afraid, dubbing wax is good. Take the back shoulder. Remember the split finger trick? Open that loop up, make it nice and easy to install this. Where you want. Okay, so place your finger in behind if you need to do some adjusting, which I love to adjust it, get it just right in here. Make sure it's not all gathered up in any one spot. And then this gives me the opportunity to actually create the length I'm looking for. Okay, so that's about what we got. 3/4 of an inch forward hackle, 1 inch of shoulder, dubbing tool. Make sure you don't have any of this tail fibers in there and give it a good spin. All right, spin up nice. Let's pick this out. And I generally start with the pick just to make sure that I can get the big folds out of it before I brush it, because you can kind of compress the loop if things get snagged. Go both ways a little. Give it a little twack and that'll send it all back out nice and relaxed. Need some water. And then we'll just part, find just nice neutral spot in the thread and part and pinch. Part and pinch. All right, so let's Run this right up on here. Nice and tight, right up next to each other, folding them back and moving forward. Folding them back and moving forward. Now we're right up behind the eyes. Get one wrap, and then I'll move my thread forward, go around the head, and then secure. Now I like to put a little whip finish down here, so when I put this wing on, I can keep it centered and it won't try to pull over to one side or the other. I just go 1, 2. Looks like I actually have some glue in the eye here. There we go. So I'm going to take a look here. I have. Now that I'm secured, I don't have to worry about unraveling what I just wrapped. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking at length and volume, so I can decide how much wing I want to put on this fly. And if I have any of these crazy protruders, trim these off. These are butt ends. Okay. And this one's going to get a little Kingfisher wing. Eight to 10 fibers, the same length as the wing or the forward hackle, maybe a wee bit longer if you'd like. Put that down. What I do here is, because this is a small fly, I don't want to crowd this head too badly, so I use my finger to moisten that and push it straight back, and it actually puts a nice kink in the feathers or in the ostrich, and you can trim off really close to your thread. Okay, finally, big fan of this Mirage Tinsel. It's pearlescence and color combo are hard to resist, and they look really good in the water. So I'm just going to use a couple of these like normal, not too much, less is always more. Except for money, someone told me that. Money, lots of money is better than less money. Okay, that one's out of here. So we got 2 fibers, and I'm just going to lay it on the side, and these are basically the length of the entire fly. Just 1 on the flank, 2 over here, get off of there. Pinch trick. Oops, on the wrong side of the eye. There we go. 2 turns, pull it over to the other side of the fly. 2 turns, and cut them off. Same length. Let's get some of these back. Finish it. Got some protruders here. I don't want to be part of the party. There we go. Oops. Well, that was perfectly timed. Okay. Let's brush this out. And now I'm just taking everything forward, nice and aggressively. Little jungle cock, the fake jungle cock eyes, everything from the back to the forward. And I'll actually even do this to remove it from the vise. And this makes this assembly a lot easier. Stick that up on there, and then I'll use my finger to pull the hook back into its location. As you can see now, I like this Ultra rig to be very tight up against the back of the first station, so you can get the braid all straightened out. And then from there, I'll brush it all back again. and adjust materials as required. Yeah. Like usual, they look pretty ratty until they start to dry out. You can get a full effect. But let's get this hook point off of here so she's ready to rock. And there we go. Mini intruder. And I'll spend a little time messing with the tinsel, making sure that it's all where it needs to be and spread out. 2 pieces on each side. Nice centered little wing. And there you go, mini intruder. Mini intruder with a massive mess. Thanks for checking in. This is Jerry French checking off. Thank you and see you again.